Hi folks, welcome back to Dave Does Outdoors. I thought I'd get a quick bit of footage in just now before the rain starts, but I don't know. So we're going up East Lomond today. Last week we did West Lomond, so a longer walk in. This is a shorter walk in. I'm going to show you, there's an old lime kiln up here, but also East Lomond used to be one big hill fort. So we'll go up, we'll have a look about, and we'll talk through a bit of that. It's not a bad night, it's a wee bit breezy, but great to get outdoors again. Great with this one, Audrey. I've got my best pal with me, I've got my companion, and again, so far quite clear, so we'll get some view. The weather's kind of coming in a wee bit as per. If it ain't raining, you ain't training, as they say across the water. So thanks again for tuning in, thanks again for joining me, thanks again for all your support, it's much appreciated. We'll crack on, and I'll pick you up further up the path. It's about 1.5 miles up the hill. It's about 7, so again working, it's a wee midweek hop, so great just to breathe, feel the fresh air, feel the wind. It's been a difficult week, but I'll talk more about that later on. If Audrey's off her lead, I need to sort of tune her in a little bit, because she gets, obviously she's into all the scents and kind of so normally when we're setting off, I'm kind of like, you know, keep her by me, keep her close. You can see up on the other hill where we were last week, we had to kind of go through quite a lot of sheep, so obviously on her lead. This is quite nice, it's pathed, walled and fenced on each side of the path, so, but she's pretty good. Audrey, remember, I'm keeping an eye, you keep an eye on me, I'll keep an eye on you, yeah? She's pretty good. The other night I was up, don't know if you can see it from here, but there's a kind of monument over there which I'll camp on when it's a bit cooler, and she was chasing the pheasants and going a bit bananas, weren't you? Were you chasing? Oh, were you? Were you chasing the pheasants? But she's generally pretty good. Don't want to lose her. She's good. She's never been that kind of, but I keep a fairly close kind of good girl, communicating with her quite a lot, not letting her kind of get too far ahead of herself, because she's 3, she's fully grown, she's a Jackadoodle, so she's miniature Jack Russell, miniature poodle, so she doesn't molt, which is great. And generally, as you've seen on my trips, she's a good wee companion, so not bad with other dogs and pretty good off the lead, so you can't ask too much more than that. This was the hill that the inverted cloud line was around, and you can see kind of shapes. This at one point was fully fortified, and there's an old lime kiln that we'll explore down here somewhere, but I'm going to go right to the top and talk you through. This was fortified, probably medieval, you know, several hundred years ago. Falkland's down the other side of the hill, we'll see it from the top, and but quite exposed, quite open, so the wind rolls up, and I'm hoping to camp. Tonight's kind of mission was to get a flat surface, because last week's I pitched, I don't know if you can see it, but there's a stony bit on the side. I pitched up there, so it was so uneven, it was unreal, so I'm looking for a little bit of kind of smoother grass so I can actually maybe get a few hours sleep. So that's the plan, and I haven't been up here for years. It's pleasant, and the lime kiln, really interesting part of our kind of, I suppose, agricultural history and house building, with the kind of lime mortars and needing lime for the fields to be able to grow decent vegetables and crops and stuff. So hopefully you're picking up that okay. It's windy again. We're in Scotland. It's what, 20th of August, so we're coming out of the summer. I mean, most of our heads are still stuck in March, so you're trying to come to terms with kind of, you know, you're heading towards the winter. It's like we've not had a summer with lockdown and COVID, and we've got a couple more little spikes going on up our way, so we're not 100% sure what's going to kind of sort of happen. So, but yeah, so you can see this would have been ramparts and big wooden fences. There's a couple of folk coming down, there's 2 or 3 going up, a couple at the summit, so we're not in a rush. We're going to just kind of take our time and check out, do some exploring, so all good. This is the lime kiln. I thought you'd get down this way, but it's too many nettles. We'll go around on top. This is where they used to build, create lime by burning masses of coal in here and putting in big lime rocks, and then burning the lime rock down 900 degrees C, really hot, in big furnaces to make the fields more nutritious, and also in lime wash for a render, a weatherproof render for houses. So it's all really bogged up down here, but some structure. This is where the lime would be taken out on horse and cart. Amazing structure. So fires are both at, you know, massive big furnaces. So hoping to actually camp out here somewhere if it was flat and dry, but we'll see. You're starting to get a sense of the structure, and this is where we're going to need to get to the summit. So it's looking a little bit dark. Apologies for the darkness. I'm not sure if the wee GoPro's picking it up much, but I think one of the reasons why it was set so high was to get a really good airflow. These big holes around it were called draw holes, and so this is where the wind would go in to create such intense heat to break the lime down. There was a hole in both sides in the passageway, and the kiln was in the centre, so interesting. There's a couple of wee sort of flatter grassy bits up here that I might get a wee pitch on. So you can see this perfect flat piece which should have been fortified, and then an upper piece. Really good vantage point, right there around 360. Apologies for the darkness, it's only what, 7:30, but I don't know if you can make out the little kite or something that's just kind of a red kite or something like that. So as we start to gain a bit of elevation, you're going to start seeing across the Forth again, across to, there's Bass Rock, Berwick Law. So yeah, some beautiful views. It won't take us long to get to the top. This is the shortest kind of route, 20 minutes, and we're probably not going to dilly-dally. I think we're going to camp down near the lime kiln. So but one absolute privilege, midweek, close at hand, East Lomond, not far from where I'm lucky enough to live. So thanks again for sharing this with me, guys, and check out the purples, the heathers, the wind, the freshness. I'm in a t-shirt, so it's not that cold. I might need to layer up near the top, but you know, we're pretty lucky at this time of year. If it can stay dry, we'll have done well. That's us pretty well there. So you can see the west Lomond. That was steep, a couple of wee false summits, but nothing major. There's the summit there. There's bound to be a couple of folk up here. It's that time of year when folk are still getting out. I'm not sure how much wind distortion you're getting, so apologies if you're buffeted about. When I get my new tent, I'm going to pitch it there, but not tonight. You can see the monument that I camped at, but you can see, yeah, lovely little summit pitch right there. That's getting done in the new tent. It's a bit more windproof than the Vangos. This is Falkland, and that's where the waterfall is. So check out my other videos, guys. There's a camp, there's a video, there's a film up there. So fantastic, brilliant. We'll take a walk along this way. So this at one point would have been large wooden ramparts, and it's actually, I mean, designed, it's really easy to build. So you've got steep sides, pretty well on 3 sides if not 4. So a really good sort of defensive structure up here. And I mean, you can imagine living up here. I mean, that's some sort of view. But you can see, and that's across the St Andrews, you can see the coast. This way, right across, you could probably see a big fire going over this way towards Edinburgh. I'm not sure how much wind you're getting. I've got my little hamster. So again, really flat here. So this is people would have been living up here. Dwellings, big fireplace. Certainly exposed to the elements. And then you've got a ledge. Got sort of steps down. You've got steps down here. So again, this was all fortified with wooden fences. That's us out the wind. I'm not going to lay it up. We're going to skip down, try and find somewhere flat. It's too elevated and windy up here tonight for the wee Vango. But like I said, when I get my scarp fixed up and sorted, it's going to be getting a pitch up here, maybe as its first run. So, but yeah, I don't think we're going to see any. The last time I was up, we saw a sunset across there about 9. So I'll see. We'll go down, we'll pitch. I can't see me getting all the way back up here though tonight. It's too far. But yeah, some view right across the Forth. That's May Island, Largo Law. Berwick Law. That's Largo Law. So these are volcanic plugs. These 3 hills. So I'm going to do my magic again. Abra cadabra. Just like that, the tent was born. So we've got a pretty decent little flat pitch. It's a bit on a path, but it's really quiet down here. It's a wee path that you can actually go around to the lime kiln, but at this time of night there's no one around, which is fine. So my mission was to get a flat pitch. After last week's kind of really uneven pitch, which was a nightmare, and so I'm going to get all the stuff chucked in the tent. It's about 9:15. We're not going to get any sunset tonight, but we might get a wee sort of rummage about down the back of the kiln, which would be good to explore in a bit more detail. couple of wee spit spots of rain, but and it's a fairly exposed little spot because we're still really elevated and the wind's coming up off the Forth. But I don't know, it's flat. We'll get the thermarest up, we'll get the sleeping bag puffed up a wee bit, and get a wee bit settled. She's doing amazing as usual, aren't you? And just met a really nice wee lad up the top of the hill, didn't we? A guy called Chris. So if you're watching, nice to meet you. Top lad, like, really nice, inspiring. He was perched on the side of the hill, so it's really just really positive and inspiring to meet new people with the same interests. So good on you, Chris, good on you. And I think he was going to give me a wee sub, so always up. I'm not sure if it's getting too dark, but I wanted to come up and see these two trees, a kind of beech tree, definitely best part of 100-year-old, so interesting how they've survived. This would have been the track that a lot of the coal and lime would come. That's down to the lime kiln down there. That's where I'm pitched down there, a little bit out the wind. That's us relatively well settled. Audrey, she's on tin foil foam mat. I've got my thermarest, I've got my sleeping bag. I've just cracked a cool one. Cheers. Cheers, folks. That's better. Let me make sure this microphone, my last video, the audio didn't seem to be particularly good, and I think it was because of the wind. The video before, I didn't have my glasses and I had the camera on kind of wide angle, so technical challenges when you're running a YouTube channel. And it's getting pretty dark out there, fairly exposed, a wee bit sort of buffety, but I'm going to get the earplugs in and just try and get some sleep. But yeah, it's been a difficult week. I'm visiting my dad tomorrow. He's in a nursing home. Haven't seen him for, well, March, April, May, June, July, almost 6 months, so that's been a nightmare, absolute nightmare. He's stuck in a nursing home on lockdown, so tomorrow's going to be the first visit, so it's going to be quite an emotional ride. But my sister Jill's going, so it'll be okay. It'll be nice to see him. And but yeah, it's been a tough week. I think the COVID, it's up and down. It hits you like a ton of bricks when you're least expecting it, and there's wee spikes going on up our way as well, so we're kind of half expecting more lockdown, more restrictions, so you're not getting out the bit, which is really challenging. But just need to be strong, need to be positive. Getting out like nights like tonight, just kind of absolute saviour for me. So once again, thanks to the family for supporting me to get out and get some space. And you can see the lights of Edinburgh just glimmering across in the horizon, so I've got a nice wee spot here. And Audrey's going to be cosy. I've got a wee jumper for her, another kind of blanket, so yeah, I hope everyone's taking care at home and looking after yourself and looking after each other. I'm enjoying the YouTube, I'm enjoying the Dave Does Outdoors, you know. How you doing? You doing good? yeah, I've been finding some of the YouTube and Instagram quite challenging this week. It's really difficult to not compare yourself with, you know, I watch a few of the outdoor guys, and a lot of them are actually doing this for a living, and I guess maybe that's everyone's kind of dream and everyone's fantasy. I'd love to be doing this full time. Obviously love my job. I'm really in a privileged position doing what I'm doing, but being outdoors and camping, wild camping, you know, bushcraft and all the rest of it, it's great. It's great fun spending time with the little one. Audrey, are you enjoying yourself? And yeah, so it's difficult when you're looking at some of these guys, and then you're, you know, it's slow. A few people have said your first 100. I was speaking to this young lad at the top of the hill there, Chris, and even he said that. He said, you know, your first 100's the toughest, so we'll get there. You know, it's you know, this week it's been good. I've kind of, I'm not comparing myself with anyone else. I'm not doing this to run a YouTube channel business thing, you know. I'm doing this to get out, to promote and encourage you guys to get outside, to get out of doors, to get into the fresh air. The benefits on my mental health, on your mental health, you know, the fresh air, being outside, being away from the front door, away from your own home, it's so good for you. It's unreal. So that's why I'm doing this, you know, and getting some space, coping with the pandemic, but yeah, so it's difficult. I need to remind myself, don't, you know, I can't compare myself with some of these guys that have been doing it for years and have all the gear and just kind of, you know, lots of time perhaps, and kind of, you know, I'm working and got family, so it's a balance, but loving the support and the community on YouTube and Instagram. It's really positive. It's really supportive. I'm meeting really interesting people. You know, big shout out to the Bradley brothers. I think they must live in New York or something, but they've been communicating with me. You know, good guys getting out into the outdoors like myself. So a big shout out to them. And you know, there's some real characters, and so yeah, it's been an interesting week for me and my relationship with YouTube and Instagram. You know, I think as well one of the challenges is on Instagram particularly, and even YouTube, everyone seems really quite sorted, and I think there's a lot of people that really aren't sorted. You know, with the pandemic, but just in general, life sucks at times, and you don't really see much of that. So sometimes you get this kind of sort of illusion that everyone's just kind of sort of breezing life, but it's not like that. So yeah, so I guess, you know, my channel's about, you know, keeping it real a wee bit as well, which is important. So, but I'm going to get tucked in, get some Z's, and probably touch base with you in the morning. I'm going to get the coffee on in the morning. Don't know what the weather's like. Looks like it's going to be wet. So, but anyway, it's another nice night, and it's nice to be sharing this with you guys at home. So I really appreciate everyone's support. And yeah, just I hope everyone's taking care and looking after each other out there. It's hard. It's a hard time for the world. So, but we'll get through this. You know, we'll get through this together. So, anyway, I will see you in the morning. Morning, folks. That's just the back of 6. Brew is on. One of the nice features of the Vango is having the double doors, so it's starting to rain and get a bit kind of windy out the other side, so you can open up your kind of back door if you like, which is great. So this little one's Audrey coming round, and yeah, she was pretty cosy last night, and she's going to have some breakfast. We're going to have a coffee. Windy again last night. I think that's why they built the lime kiln here. The wind must just whistle around East Lomond and up from the Forth. So, but not too bad, all things. So we're going to just get packed up. We're not going to dilly-dally. Get down the road. So listen, I hope you've enjoyed today. I'll sign off further down the road anyway. So it's just a quick pack up. Tent goes down in a minute or two. I'm going to quick coffee. I'm not sure if there's much of a view. I know it's been windy and it's rainy at this side. Not too bad down to the Forth. The lime kiln there. It's not too cold either, but that wind's zipping down that side of the tent. So with that shut, you can really, it's nice and sheltered. So listen, thanks for tuning in. If you've stuck by me this far through the vid, you've done well. Appreciate all your. Damn, you could wake up in worse places. It's a wee bit chilly. I'll probably need to get my layer on, but the purple heather, the view down to the Forth, solo wild camp at East Lomond, lime kiln, pretty perfect. Audrey, come here. She's done well. Come here. You've done well again, haven't you? Eh? You've done good. She's had her breakfast. She's had a big drink. And I've got her coat, but I think she's okay. We're just going to quickly pack up, get down the road. Okay, that's us packed up, leaving no trace as per. We abuse it, we lose it. That's the name of the game up here. So leaving absolutely no litter, no trace at all, spotless. She's got her wee coat on. She was getting a wee bit chilly standing about. Only took us 20 minutes. I timed it this morning. 20 minutes to get packed up, so good stuff. Thanks for joining me again on another adventure with the small little dog called Audrey. I just love that view right across the bow of Fife up to Teesside. I will never get sick of that. That's absolutely gorgeous. Little one with her coat on. We're just following the path down to the car park, so I'll be signing off soon. But another really nice little solo wild camp. So the usual stuff, guys. If you've not already subscribed, please click the subscribe button. I think you can press a little bell for notifications. I'm trying to put something on about once a week, roughly, just to kind of build up a bit of content. So loving what I'm doing, loving sharing it with you guys. Hopefully you guys are enjoying it as well. I'm hoping everyone's keeping well. I've been feeling quite stressed the last few days. Schools are back, which is great, but I don't know. Anyway, listen, hope everyone's keeping strong, keeping safe, looking after yourselves and each other out there. That's all we can hope and pray for. So, but listen, thanks again for joining me, and hang in there. Remember to leave some comments and some suggestions as well. Always really appreciate interacting with anyone who wants to leave a wee comment and some feedback. So you take care out there. Cheers.
Come on.